Reverend Rob Lee. Bold, smart, and straight to the point. This is Tarot with an Attitude.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Tarot with an Attitude. I am your host, the Reverend Rob Lee. Wow, bangarang. Okay, everybody, what's happening? First thing, assignment for everybody. Drop in there, make sure Gillian's listening, she's watching, how the sound's doing. New mic, nothing in front of me so I can move, and let's see what's happening. So, Yachty, good evening. Cynthia, welcome. Britt, welcome. Glad you're here. Bangarang. And Cindy, Deborah. Wow, everybody's coming in. Mr. Bruce, glad you're here. Things are happening. So we got a lot of things working. Y'all notice I've started on the channel. Make sure you're going in and checking. I've started doing weekly zodiac horoscopes for everybody. Now, I did each one separately. What I'd like for you to do is check one or two out from the beginning, in the middle, and then at the end. The one at the end, I shortened up to 5 minutes. The others are about 15. I want to see what everybody thinks about what's the way to do it. I'm going to play with another idea next week, putting them all in one video, but with chapters. But I kind of like this way. It looks cool, and it felt good when I was doing it. So any suggestions or anything anybody wants to see, I would love to hear it. That's just the start of what's going on. So I am going to get some things ready here. Oh, I normally have this ready, but I don't. So there we go. Let's get back over here. Okay, so I'm running a little behind. Going to be lighting up my Palo Santo this evening. I've got some protection spray that was a gift from Mainly Mystics. I'm going to be using it, and it's got crystals in the bottle and everything else. So welcome, letting everybody get settled in here, and we are going to get this started. So I love these sprays. It's easier, but we're going to make sure. And we're going to ask, and we're going to talk now, and we're going to bring the angels in. We're going to tell Spirit, you know what? Spirit, God, Mother, the all, bright white light shining from each and every one of us. Let us be a beacon that is impenetrable to anything that is not of our higher good, that is not for us, from you. It can't penetrate. I'm asking for protection for everybody here tonight and for anybody watching this show or the video thereafter. With all that being said, so mote it be. I'm lighting up my Palo Santos here, getting that going. I'm going to wave a little sage around. Yeah, I'm being careful, folks. Some things are happening that have said, you know what? Much as I'm telling people don't get stuck in your routine, I think I got stuck in a routine. We talked about this with a few people, things like that. I got a little white sage I'm going to burn here, making sure that everything is clear and clean. And we are starting the Spirit. Make sure all messages come from you through me tonight. Make sure that I am giving your message and not mine. Keep this pure, keep this clean, and in everything we ask, so mote it be. Okay, so here we go. All right. You know what's funny is I remember before all this became real known and popular in the 70s, you walked into somebody's house and you smelled patchouli oil, you smelled sage, you smelled incense. You're like, oh, they're a dope head. You know what? Wow. Were we ever wrong? Okay. Were we ever wrong? There are my cards right there, one of the sets. So I have that. I've got my crystals here. Do you have crystals? Do you have anything going? That's going to be the question tonight for everybody. But welcome aboard, and let's see. Let me see. What do we got here? Good evening, Reverend Rob. I made it to the final interview like you predicted. Will my presentation land me the job? Let's find out. We'll ask. Okay. So here we go. I'm just going to bring out the pendulum. We're going to ask real quick here. All right. I'm going to wave my pendulum. I'm going to make sure it's being smudged as we speak so people can see it. Nothing is allowed in and nothing is allowed to affect the pendulum that is not of our highest good. Pendulum, will you work with me this evening? Yes. Okay. Dottie has made it to the final interview. Will her presentation land her the job? I am getting a very solid yes this time, Yachty. So that will be great. You make sure to keep us posted. Everything saying, we're wishing you power. We're sending you love, light, and everything that goes with it to make sure. You know what? This week I've been talking about different things, and it's funny how all the astrological signs like that are of the elements, earth, fire, water, they're all air. They're all kind of blending in on the same thing. So, Yachty, that's good. Make sure you let us know so we know what's going on and we know what's happening. Okay. So, yeah, yay. All right, Miss Bridget, she's in the house. Glad she's here. Welcome. All right. Eyes of the Dragonfly. Check Miss Bridget's out. You want to work with Bridget? Bridget at eyesofthedragonfly.com. All right, check that out. So what I'm going to do is while we're sitting here waiting, wait a minute. Andrea has popped in with the question. Let me get over here. Will I meet a singer named Bill in person? That's an interesting question. She's my girl, Bill, and your picture doesn't look like you're old enough to remember that song. Look it up. You'll have a laugh and a chuckle. Andrea wants to know, will she meet a singer named Bill in person? Yes, I'm getting, again, a very solid yes. So things are going well. Things are going good for people. Glad it's coming through. Bangarang, keep us posted. Let us know how that's going to work out and what's happening with it. Inquiring minds want to know. Yeah, you're welcome. You know, hey, I'm glad to see you. Glad you are here. Hope everybody's doing well. You know, and you know that. Yeah, thumbs up for Yachty. We're in different countries. Well, didn't say when, okay, but it says you are going to meet them in person. So what that means, I don't know. We didn't go into it much in detail or anything else, but keep it posted. And remember, if you're in different countries, if you want to manifest this, what are you going to do to help make that happen? Now, if you just sit back and wait, that plan can change. All right. So remember that. Will the result of my job interview be known by the end of September? I just want Pandol, please. Let's find out. Will the result of LMAA, their job interview, will the results be known by the end of September? And again, I'm getting a good solid yes. You will know by the end of September. That is what I'm getting from the pendulum. Wow, a lot of pendulum tonight. Glad y'all like the pendulum. That makes me happy, makes everybody happy. So let's find out what's going on from there. So, all right. In the meantime, while we're waiting on people to post their questions and come in the room, everybody's getting in a little late or whatnot. All right. Going to check some things here. Got a lot of things coming up for you to look out for, different videos, different things. So please go make sure you're checking the, hey, Miss Pitts, how are you? Glad to see you. Glad you are here. You know, will Marcus be the one is what I'm seeing here for Britt. Will Marcus be the one? Let's find out and let's see what's happening. Okay. So again, I love the pendulum questions. They help me get through, help me get short and get on to everybody else and their yes and no. Will Marcus be the one? Britt wants to know, will Marcus be the one? And again, I'm getting a solid yes. Pendulum, do you need cleaning? I want to see that it goes no because I just cleaned it. No. So it does go no. It does answer in the negative. So y'all need to understand, are y'all using your intuition? Is this what's going on? Is that what's happening? That's good. Be into it. Now, when you want to do something, again, we're talking manifestation. I am going to ask Spirit right now to show us one of the most important things. And I think I know what this is going to be. All right. but I want to know one of the most important things that people can do right now to manifest their dreams. And I put the cards together wrong. Let's see what's happening here. I threw one in there backwards. Just one. Okay. So let's find this out. Okay, there we go. So, Spirit, what is it that people, the tribe here, need to know tonight about manifesting their dreams, about manifesting what they want to do? What is the most important advice you want them to have or you want them to know? And so the first thing we have here, I'm going to turn these back over. I don't read reversals during the show, is the Page of Swords. You've got to know exactly what you want to do. You've got to be passionate about it and learn everything there is to know. Just don't make it a whimsy, okay? You have to honestly know exactly what you want to do, where you want to go, but then you have to learn about what your part is to play in it. This is an action card. This page is that passion. She's holding the swords. Learn, know, see it, get out of the emotional aspect, get out of the spiritual aspect, and they want you to take an action. Spirit is saying here that the Knight, wow, talk about action cards, that the Knight of Swords is here. You have to go after whatever this is that anybody in here is wanting. Staffy, I'll get with you in just a minute, all right? But this is important for people to understand. Manifestation is a lot in your mind, and you have to put an action to it. You have to go after things. You have to charge after it, but you got to be logical and you got to use your brain on it. This is something very important. The Seven of Wands. Sometimes you may have to defend yourself. Take a look at what's going on, all right? And look around you to make sure that you're wanting the right thing or wherever you're at. You don't want to be putting yourself in a position later to have to defend yourself or come up with some wackiness because you were wishing for the wrong thing. So the Seven of Wands is talking about analyzing. Turn around, look. But if it's something you want and you know this is good for you, stand up for yourself. And that is something you can claim and you can do. And finally, we have the High Priestess. They want you to use your knowledge. Remember, I don't declare High Priestess as the ultimate intuition card. She's knowledge, but personal knowledge inside with the moon shining bright. And that's where your intuition comes from. Everything here is requiring you to know, to learn, to be smart, to take action, and be ready to stand up and analyze and look at any given time. Is this still what you need? So bangarang, that's what Spirit's wanting us to say right now as far as what's going on. So with manifesting and all these wishes and things like that. Will Ravi be a good match for Steffi? Okay, Steffi. You know what? I like the way that question is asked. Let's do this. First off, we're going to do another pendulum read. All right, just 1 second. I'm getting all klutzy here. All right, let's bring the pendulum out one more time. All right, well, we can do it however many times we need to do it. So we're going to do this. Steffi wants to know, will Ravi be a good match for her? Yeah, that was another very strong yes. It is. Now let's ask Spirit, what do you need to know about this relationship? Let's bring this back, okay? And say, what does Steffi need to know about being in a relationship with Ravi? One of these things is very important. I'm feeling that this was not a first choice for either of you, but it may have been your only choice. I'm kind of feeling an arrangement here. Am I right? Let me know. I'd like to hear. And if you don't want to, you don't have to say. But what does Steffi need to know about being in a relationship with Ravi? And here we go. So the first card is the Seven of Cups. You're going to have to make choices. Things are going to happen. Somebody's going to have to choose. And one of the things you're going to have to look at is sometimes it's okay to say, wait a minute, and analyze things really close. Sevens are about analyzing and looking and checking. They're not about fast, immediate action, okay? Even in that Seven of Wands where you're defending yourself, you turned around, stopped and stood still. You stood your ground. This Seven of Cups is about making decisions. There's going to be some choices that are going to have to be made, and you're going to need to do it. We have the quill. What I want you to do here is start writing things down. Pros and cons, what's happening, what's going, what do you feel? What does your gut feel? The quill is here to talk about getting out and again, studying, knowing, learning, and finding out what's going on. We have the Three of Wands, which talks about pray for what you want. Take an action. Make sure you're going in the direction you need to go. But the Three of Wands, one of the biggest things and biggest messages it has, Steffi, is patience. You're going to need to exercise patience and let some things evolve. There's going to be choices, things are going to happen. You're going to have to decide. No, be knowledgeable, write some things down, make sure you're doing, but most importantly, be patient. Wow. Bangarang. Okay, there we go. Let's go back over here. All right, let me see. Get back over here into where people are at, and I'll get these cards going. Maria, glad you are here. Let me get some things started. All right. Y'all do me a favor when you're checking out the new, it's kind of a new thing. I know a lot of people weren't looking for it. When you're checking out the horoscopes, whatnot, share your horoscope, okay? Or share one of them, all right? But at least share something with other people. That is one of the things I ask for more than anything. There's a place to do a tip jar down in the description if you want to take a look at it. But the biggest help for me would be share, share, share. That's going to be the biggest thing y'all can do to help me and the channel out. All right. Here we go. So, and Crystal, all right. I see things just got rearranged, probably in order. Hi, just found you. Is Daniel waiting to be in a committed relationship and live together? What I want you to understand, Crystal, I'm glad you found me, okay? But I do not read people third party. I will tell you, we will look, is he the guy for you? But I will not go in and do things about what Daniel's feeling or whatnot, because I just don't think it's ethically right. There are people that will do it, and that's fine. What I will do is, let's just ask the question, what do you need to know about Daniel? Because then it's about you or whatnot. And I hope I'm making sense. You would not want me delving into your subconscious or in any other part of you without your permission. Think of it as a medical thing. But Crystal, let's find out what's going on here. All right. So what does Crystal need to know about being in a relationship? I will tell you this, what just came to me, okay, very quickly, is there's nothing wrong with you reaching out and asking him. All right. We all play this game. And we're like, I'm not a game player. This is kind of playing a game. Well, I don't know what he's doing. Let me see what's happening. I'm going to let him make the first move. That's strategy. Sounds just like a chess game, all right? Because we're afraid of putting ourselves out there. One of the things, Crystal, I would tell you, go ahead, pick up the phone, make a phone call. The next time you're seeing him, if you're together, ask him what his intentions are. And that will help you find a different way. He may be doing the same thing. You're both afraid to ask, and you're going to miss each other because of a little thing called fear. So, Crystal, let's find out what you need to know about being in a relationship. One of the things I will tell you is if there's somebody else involved, he is not the one for you, okay? You need to back off and let that being go. And I don't know why I got told to say that. I'm not saying he is, but understand what's going on there. And I got to say what Spirit gives to me. All right. So in this, we have the Ace of Cups. Okay. What I'm seeing here in this Ace of Cups, Crystal, is that this relationship, he might be experiencing some all new feelings. You might be experiencing some whole new feelings. And you need to explore that, but you need to do that in conversation. You need to have that conversation because so many things are going. This is going to be a total emotional thing right now for a while. We have the Page of Coins. Is money an issue? Is there somebody else at issue? Is there something where maybe, do you know what he does for a living? Is he solid? Is he fluid? Is he flush? Are these some of the things you need to know about? He might tend, all right. That's what you need to know about. And you need to know that being in a relationship, what I'm really picking up on is material things are going to be very important, whether it be financial or just things. But that's not always a bad thing. It could be in protecting, it could be setting in a future, it could be getting ready for a family, or it could be the other way. But material things are going to be important. You need to find out what and why when you talk to him. Now, we have the Tower. Things are changing around you, okay? And this is going to be a big change for you. What I'm really picking up is this personality, this whole relationship thing is going to change down the road. May not be a bad thing, may be a good thing. But this is one of those things, the 1 and the 6 of the Tower come together to be a 7, which is what I said. Be patient, look and wait. Now, when this change happens or when things shift, you need to be ready and make sure you're prepared for them or whatnot. So, and maybe that's what he's doing right now, involved in it. But these are the things that I'm seeing is a very emotional relationship, things that are going to be money concerns, and then changes in how each of you are going to handle them. That's going to be the important part. So, Crystal, let's see what's going on. Okay. And I hope you understand. Welcome, Bangarang. Glad you're here. Wow. This is great. Do me a favor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share. That's all I ask for people to do, and it is appreciated, okay? So, wow, all right. Maria, there we are. Will Philip try to come back sometime in the future? Well, I'm glad he's gone, okay? And as long as you keep dwelling on him, yes, because you're manifesting his reappearance, okay? Now, if you're afraid of him or whatnot, you need to put some of those things we talked about into place, all right? Most narcissists will if they don't find another sucker right in front of them, okay? So I want you to be aware, be cautious, do whatever, but will Philippe try to come back he's going to move very soon, okay? But he will also travel to his home country in Croatia. Okay, let that go, all right? And here's the question I would ask you as Reverend Rob, okay? And as a social worker, and as a counselor, and as a therapist. I want you to ask yourself, do you want him to come back? Was this just kind of a drawing your toe and saying, hope he'll change? These people don't change, okay? You need to be careful, all right? But you're making moves. Those things will happen. Will Philippe try to come back? Yes. Now, you have to make up your mind, and it's enough dwelling on this topic, okay? You have to make up your mind if you want him back or not. Like I said, there are people that can help you. I'll be glad to help you if you want to reach out or whatnot. But you need to understand where this is coming from and what's happening, okay? So we keep dragging this whole thing around, all right? And that needs to be said when he walks out the door that it's a finality. You need to bring it to a finality, okay? I love you, all right? But it's time for this to end, okay? All right, wow, Bangarang, okay. Here we go. Who have we got here? Pomona. Am sitting for a bit of competitive exam. Chances of me passing the exam, please. How much did you study? Is it an exam you can study for? Let's find out. So Pomona wants to know, does she have a good chance of passing the exam? Yes, you do. And what I'm picking up is, all right, let me ask you this. Has Pomona studied enough for this exam? I'm getting a circle. You can study more. There are things you need to know, things you need to learn. So right now, as Pomoda sits right now, could she do better if she did something? And that's a definite yes. So make sure you're not just thinking you know it, and make sure you're practicing doing whatever and study, study, study. How bad do you want this? That's going to be very, very important. So Pomoda, let's take a quick look at this. All right, let's go here. Bring this back up. What does Pomoda need to know about passing this exam? I'm feeling pretty good, okay? I'm actually feeling pretty good. All right, but let's see what's going on. Let's find out. All right, here we go. The Three of Wands. You know what? Again, if you take the right action, what I'm getting is when you take this exam, don't hurry. You know the right actions to take, you know what to do, but do not rush. This is going to be one of those things where some of the questions could be a little tricky and the right question may be there. 10 of Coins is saying you're going to be fine, you're going to do this, but take nothing for granted. All right. And the final one is the Knight of Swords. Study, 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 study. Swords is about the head, being up here in the head. All right. Make sure you know your topic. Make sure you know everything the best you can do, and you are going to be fine. Wow. Bangarang. There we go. Okay. We put these back in here. Hey, good to see you. Can I get a general love reading? Absolutely. All right. Give me just a second here. Gonna kind of clear, breathe in some of the stuff I got going on around me. She wants a general love reading. All right, here we go. AA, can I get a general love reading? Let's find out. All right, here we go. Boom. What is the most important thing that AA needs to know? And we're looking at a general love reading about her relationships, things that are going on in love and in life. Let's find out. We have the Devil. Not generally what we want to see in a love relationship. What I'm really getting here, what Spirit is giving me, is for you to be very careful. In the love relationship, we can get attracted to things that are physically pretty, but they're not depth and they're not meant for us spiritually. You have to be careful about bringing somebody into your life that was not meant to be. And is codependency a thing for you? Okay. So the Devil is here saying, and this Devil's not a bad thing, but it's saying, be careful. There might be some things that you brought into your life or some people that you brought into your life or bringing into your life that might not be there, that might bind you up. All right. We have the Six of Wands. So, one of the things I see is if you want a general love reading, if there's some habits that you have, particularly codependency or anything like this, and I'm not saying you are codependent, okay? But in the area of love, you need to look at the shadow side of yourself and say, what do I need to let go of? What's more important? Where are these things at? And if you can do that, the Six of Wands is here is to tell you, you can declare victory. You're going to have a breakthrough. You will find the right thing that's coming. The Nine of Wands is here. You're going through a lot. And what this card kind of surprises me, but you're feeling beat up. You're maybe feeling like you don't want to do this anymore. You're tired. Have you put a lot out there and been let down? Don't carry that into something new. That's part of relationships. That's part of life. And that might be where this card's coming up because you're bringing the wrong people into your life. Make sure you understand that if we can break this habit, break free, learn to live and love yourself and be happy in and of yourself. Love yourself, all right? You won't keep going through this because you won't keep bringing the wrong people into our life. We always say, I should have seen the signs. I should have seen the signs. Well, that's one of those things that, at the end of it, most of the times we do see the signs. We just ignore them. Okay. So little bit of work, a little bit of shadow work. I want you to see, I do see you can have it successful, but if you're not careful, you're going to bring the wrong person in, and that's going to cause you some grief. Leave that. It's time, take a break, but now get up and find out what's going on, because looky here. The Two of Cups is here to tell you relationships are meant to be. You're supposed to be in a relationship, and you have one coming, okay? But you got to free yourself of all this stuff, and you can't be lugging this tired, beat up, not trying feeling in. You've got to leave that negativity behind. It sucks when people do us wrong. It sucks when we give our all to somebody and we just feel like I keep getting beat up and I keep picking the wrong guys. Why are you picking the wrong guys? Let's go back to this card, okay? Or the wrong men, whatever it may be, okay? Take a breather. Break free of some chains. Take a look deep down inside. You're able to declare victory. Stop feeling all beat up. And then guess what? Two of Cups is here to show you, yes, you can do. This is all going to be about how much you're willing to change you and move up to you. Not for them, for you. All right? Bangarang. Wow. Keep us posted. We always want to hear when somebody's having a relationship or something like that. That's really cool. All right? So, wow. All right. Here we go. Let me get these put up. And I like to split my cards up for my new people. A lot of new people in tonight. That's good. You know, we are the Barefoot Bangarang Tribe. We believe in kicking our shoes off. We believe in getting grounded, because what we want to do is we want everybody to reclaim their magic and fly. That's going to be a huge thing, and a huge thing for somebody. What is this? So true. I have been alone, healing, and focusing on self-love. And that's the important thing. Relationship is there. Okay. No rebounds. All right. And make sure that you're putting this aside and you're going out every time and just being you. Don't put on airs. Don't try to change for somebody else. You know, that's really cool. You know, there we go. Tarot and Attitude just found us. Subscribe now. Hit like and share the tribe vibe. I love it. God, Gillian's great, isn't she? All right. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, for my new people, Gillian's my wife. All right. So when you hear me flirting with her, that's my wife. All right. So there we go. The tribe vibe. I like it. You may have started a trend there, baby doll. So let's see what's going on. All right. Now, a lot of things coming up. I don't see a whole lot of questions coming in right now. Let's take a look. All right. And let's ask Spirit what we need to know as a tribe. The community needs to know about going through the end of September. Okay. You know, let's see what happens. All right. Let's see what Spirit is saying about being. What do we need to know for the rest of this month? Now, again, I put videos out for each sign for this week, the week we're in. So go check it out. Okay. All right. And I'm going to be putting them out for next week. I'm going to be trying to do weekly. I might change the format. I don't know. I'm experimenting to try to see what's a good way to do it. But here we go. All right. So Spirit, what do we need to know? What does a tribe need to know about this coming, the rest of August? What do we need to know about August? And let's find out. Let's see what's happening. So here we go. Boom. So when we do August, what we're talking about here is the Knight of Wands. Man, I love the Wands. And the Knight of Wands is talking about, you know, I told everybody this is the year for manifesting. This is the year for bringing things to light, to bring things to realize, into reality. Okay. And the Knight of Wands is saying you have, for the remainder of this month, you need to go after your passions. You need to charge into this month. You need to charge into September. Nobody's going to take care of your needs like you. You need to make sure you're heading in the direction that you want to go. This is very, very important for your well-being, for your health, body, mind, spirit. You know, we go from there. Look at there. If we do that, the sun's going to come out. We're able to just have this wonderful harvest. Things are going to grow out. And man, y'all are going to be hearing a lot from me coming up I've got something coming that has all to do with light, photo light therapy, things like that. Because the light, the sun, everything, all life starts with light. Okay. Without it, there would be none. So this is what we've got here. All right. Understand, getting that fire going, getting it blazing, moving on to what you do. And that way you can realize your dream and be that much closer and be happier basking in the sun. You know, the Three of Swords is here. You're like, what does that mean? We can't keep lugging around things that hurt us in the past. Shuck that stuff and move on. Now, when I say that, I don't expect you to just forget about it. It never happened. Everybody says, oh, you just need to forget and move on. Well, that's life. It's part of our life. These things happen, but you can't live in it. You've got to either just come to terms with it in some way. But if you're living in it, look at here. We have a very calm water situation because we got to put these bad vibes in our head to bed. We got to get back into our fire. We got to get back into the sun, realize who we are, and stop living in that emotional state. And right here, letting your brain lead the heart. All right. That's very, very important. It's what I'm seeing, and what I'm seeing you need to know. You know, let's find out what's going on. We have the high priestess here. The high priestess, that knowledge. Find out what you need to know. This month is going to be packed full of everything. What do you need to do to move forward? What's the next step? Where do you go? Get out in the sun. Man, I'm going to tell you, my wife and I started walking again, and we walk first thing in the morning. And just by getting out and walking, and we're not doing a marathon or anything, not yet, okay? But today we did a half mile, just right around our block, twice. What a beautiful day. The sun was out, everything else. And you know what? By being out in the sunlight, by being in the cool, and putting our body in motion, okay, we both have more energy. We're finding things. We don't have to do radical changes. Follow your knowledge. Do what you know. Follow your intuition, your gut, and things are going to be. You'll never escape pain, okay? But you always have to learn to deal with it. It's what we're learning, all right? Wow, bangarang. Okay. Woo, that was heavy. All right, let's see what's going on here. Okay, any other questions or anything? Doesn't appear to be. So it might be a short night tonight. All right. And let's see what's going on. All righty. So, all right. I don't see anybody else asking any questions. Everybody's kind of quiet tonight. I think everybody asked their question and left. All right. Is there anything else I can do for anybody? Bang around. All right. And if not, you know what we're going to do? We're going to let this night be the night. I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to take a moment to tell each and every one of you how much I appreciate you, how much I appreciate you being part of the tribe. Go watch the videos. Do me a favor. Watch as many of them as you can. We're getting this started. Things are moving. More people are subscribing. It's moving. We're going in the right direction. All right. I've been through some stuff, and y'all were there to care. Y'all are constantly there. We're there for each other. And that's the most important part about the tribe to me right now, is all of us knowing, loving, and caring. Okay. So take some time, get outside, change the way you think, change the way you do things. We're going to be addressing some of that, but get in the sun, enjoy, and find out. Let me see what we've got here. Ellen just asked, can I ask another question with Pandol? Yeah, just clarify the question for me. I don't understand. If that's the question, let me know. Sure. But make sure we understand. You know, you are appreciated so much, Reverend Rob. Thank you very much. And, you know, I cannot say thank you enough. You know, Cindy, Deborah, Donna, just so many people, Yachty, everybody that are here, my tribe members that are constant. They're always here. They're reaching out. They're doing things. We're praying for each other and helping. You know, there are so many people that are in and out, and this is a good place to be. Okay. So I appreciate you too. So Ellen, go ahead, yes, and ask me your question. Put it in there. We will take a look at this real quick and find out what's going on. All right. Here we go. Does Amir send me a message by end of the September? Okay. I'm going to ask. All right. Will Amir send LMAA a message by the end of September? Tonight I got my first no. I'm not getting that. Okay. Not picking that up. So got to find out what's going on. I think there's some more to this information than what you know. So that's going to be the thing. You know, that's going to be the thing. So the pendulum actually said no, he's not going to. Now, here's the thing. If y'all talk or if you do things or something, that can change. Nothing is written in stone. What do you want to do to change it? You know, Cynthia, we love you, and I appreciate it. I thank you so much. Everybody is helping me so much. It is appreciated. So, Ellen, good luck with that. Let me know what's going on. If I can help you and direct you in any way, I'd be glad to. So, you know what? You know, you're welcome. I'm sorry to have to give you news I don't think you want to hear, but there we are, and that's going to be, you know, and be where we're at. Okay. So everybody, with all that being said, remember, let me see what I got here. Oh, okay. One more. Hey, gotcha. Let's do this. I love working the pendulum. Y'all want me to work the pendulum? Doesn't get much easier for me than working a pendulum. All right. So, AA, will my online business pick up soon? It's been slow. I'm getting a yes. Okay. I'm getting a yes. Challenge everything. Find out, challenge yourself. What are you doing to push it? What are you doing for advertising? Things like that. Are you taking the right steps? Ask a professional and they will be able to help you. You don't have to go pay a bunch of money to somebody that you're not sure they know what they're talking about. Okay. But there are people out there that do know. All right. Well, another one just popping in here. All right. Kishna, can I ask you one question? Yes, please go right ahead. But just pop it in there and ask away, and we'll see what happens. All right. I don't know. And I said, you missed it earlier. I don't read people third party. Okay. So I don't know if he loves you or not, and I'm not going to ask. I'm going to ask what you need to know about being in a relationship with this person. And I'm not even going to try to say that name because I don't want to do anybody injustice. All right. Let's see what's happening. You know what? If you're having to ask and they're not showing it, don't worry. You know what? I'm not going to read it. I want to talk to you. Okay. Kisna, and Spirit gives me these messages, and I want you to understand. Okay. If somebody is not showing their love to you, wow, did anybody just see that go by over here? That was crazy. Y'all go back and look. There was something that just glowed and went right by. That was kind of nuts. That was cool. All right. So some of my people, go back, watch this video when we're done, and look and see if y'all can tell me what that is. All right. You know, here's the thing. You're worried so much about it. Stop worrying about somebody that's not showing you their love. All right. This is very important. All right, Kisna, is to understand it doesn't matter if you love them or not. If they're not showing you love and respect, it's time to love them, but move on. Okay. And that's, I'm coming at this from a place of love. You know, you're quite welcome. Glad you're here. And come on back. We'd love to see you. I'd love to have you here, AA. So glad you're here. I love your questions. Okay. and let's see what's happening. Okay. Yes, an orb. It was an orb. Okay, thank you. But Keisha, this is one of those things where Spirit's trying to tell you, slow down. My question is, yes, I got you. Okay. But I want you to understand, okay, if they're not showing you they love you, if you're not in a position to be able to reach out to them, if they left, okay, you need, and every woman in here, every man in here will tell you, you need to understand the best thing you can do is with love, say goodbye and move on. If they're going to come back, they will come back and you deal with that then. But then you have to find out why, what happened, and everything else. So I am going to pull a card here real quick for Kisna. And we are going to see what's going on. What does Kisna need to know about this relationship? All right. Here we go. Okay. Kisna. 5 of Swords. All right. Don't let, I got to tell you, this is saying don't let somebody steal your happiness. Don't let somebody steal your sanity. This is not a good sign for this relationship. This is talking about you can win the battle, you can have it back, you can do whatever, but is it the right thing for you? Is it the best thing for Kisna? All right, let it go. That's what I'm getting here really quickly. Really, yeah, the devil. This is more about the way you feel than about whether it's right. And sometimes giving up something we love, all right, is a hard thing to do. But Kisna, no, you need to let this go, okay, and let that person prove their love to you. You've done enough, okay? Does that make sense? I hope so. Wow. Okay, there we go. Let me see. We had a bunch of people coming in and find out. See if I've got any. Jennifer, glad you're here. Wow, Bangarang, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, glad you are here. Wow, okay, good evening. So, we are there and we're finding out what's going on. So, any last questions here, real quick? I love those last minute ones and I love working the pendulum. So, that's it. But make sure you're checking out those new videos I put out there, okay? There's going to be another guest or two in the upcoming weeks. Wednesday night, Bridget and I again will be back at 8:30. And Miss Bridget and I are going to be talking about the shadow of tarot. Not the evil, not the darkness, but reading shadow for ourselves and understanding what's going on. So we're going to be going into the shadow cards, and we're actually going to be showing you some different spreads if you want to do it. So bring your paper, bring your pen, bring your cards. If you've got cards, do them right along with us. When we do a spread, we'll tell you what the place is. And if you have questions, we'll be glad to ask, okay? But we are going to be doing tarot, we're going to be doing spreads, and we're going to be doing shadow work. And all that means is taking a look at the deep down part of us inside that a lot of times we don't want to deal with. The codependency, maybe some of our habits, some of those things, not the devil or demons. We're not doing any of that, okay? But what we are going to do is talk about the way to understand. And when you don't know, how many times you ask yourself this question? Why do I do that? What do I do? That's the shadow part. When you keep making the same mistake or you're doing things like that, you need to find out why. And a lot of times that's deep down in that subconscious because your body's reacting before you even think about it, okay? And that's one of the things we need to know. So let me see what's happening here. So it's been busy. Glad I came on, even if it's late. Thank you all for the prayers last week. Anytime. That's what we're here for, okay? That's what we're here for. So everybody, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Just glad you made it. Glad you are here. Hello. Okay, nobody calls me Bob's greetings. Okay, glad to see you, Robert Sprite. See what's happening. And, so there we are for the evening. Reverend Rob here. And the only thing I tell people, don't call me Bob. Okay, that goes into a personal thing. A lot of people don't know and they assume, but don't call me Bob. It's okay. All right. And Robert Sprite, it's all right. Okay. We don't know what we don't know. So with all that being said, everything here we've gone. We've done our questions. We're seeing what's going on. You know, Krishna, is the answer yes or no? You know what? No. And you move on. Open the door, walk away. Okay. Well, I'm hoping I can help you. And if somebody can help her understand that, that would be awesome. Okay. So remember, everybody, in all of this, take what you want. It's okay to let stuff go that you don't want. Okay. But just come in, and I'm praying that you leave having experienced some peace, love, and light. Bang,